All right, everybody, how you doing today for a Thursday? Let's get started. Appreciate everybody coming in today. I'm a little bit better than Tuesday, I guess, and I'll be better 100% by Monday. We'll be back on Monday, and I think we're going to have to just make it like an 11:50 start time and then open up the room and then get started right around 12 noon. That's working best for me. I think it's working best for most people. A lot of people telling me they pop on their lunch break, or West Coast people are just getting that second cup of coffee. So, this is a good time for everybody. Let's take care of the business. Again, we're going to talk about the hop today. So I get into that, but here's our risk disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Hopefully educational for everyone. The other business we need to address, go to Harmonic Trader for all of your harmonic pattern needs, supplies, school materials, learning curve resources. Become a basic member. Sign in. Check out the blog too. I did want to mention we did that Saturday session a week ago or so. Really great, and I put the recording on the members page. But if you're still a basic member, make sure you check out the resource page, because there's a whole lot of these other webinars that I provided that are out there on YouTube. Actually give you a real sound foundation. It's kind of an advanced course, actually. So check that out. And I hope you join us as a basic member. So let's get into today. And let's start with everyone's favorite area of the world, crypto. And again, crypto is really just vacillating. I'm not going to spend much time on it today other than one or two highlights. Ethereum, folks. I think everyone needs to be watching Ethereum now. Never been more important. You can look at dominance charts, stuff like that, but I feel like Ethereum is leading the way down. Down, down, down. And that could be a problem. So I think that almost failed last weekend. Let's keep an eye on it. But this price action, some of the things that we have seen, like a lot of these are fitting within what today's topic is about, is we're sitting at a hop level on a lot of instruments. So this is absolute make or break, do or die. Here's the Ethereum. Let's go to the daily chart. And I think it was we're looking at Coinbase or Binance Feed. Those are the two biggest ones. I've talked about this for the last many weeks. We're back down at the hop. On the Coinbase feed is 1804. And it's, that's it. There's nothing else there. Now, we'll go to Nasdaq in a second, because Nasdaq is showing us on a lot of levels it wants to do at least a type 1 reaction. But that's on the first test, and that's at its hop. This is a type 2. This is the difficulty with these secondary retest type 2s, why we look for confirmation. I look for confirmation on every setup. That's the green arrow. That's harmonic strength index. But hop, yep, hop means, I'll get into it in a second, but hop stands for harmonic optimum price. That optimal price level is our desire to kind of create a natural limit. And depending on the pattern, they're not the same, obviously, for each pattern. Even the crabs are different. The hop on the deep crab is different than the hop on the regular crab. I've told you guys before that we use a 1902. It's a secondary number for the regular crab pattern. But it's all an attempt to catch some ugly action that still is encompassed within the framework. We know that markets can be random. They can be, they definitely can be extreme and trade outside the norms. But our goal is to fit the framework within that and look for those cases that best adhere to the framework. I still think Ethereum looks great at the hop. Under the hop, no. under the hop, it actually will fail. That's probably 1680 anything. That low on Coinbase was 1712. Need to close under 1700, and I think the whole scenario, the big weekly retest for Ethereum, that's your debate here. That's your binary decision. Are we going to fail, or are we going to at least provide some reaction off of this low, where now being 60% or more off the high ends up being a great idea to buy on an extreme discount, versus when we blow it out and we look at the long-term trend weekly. I said this in the last session, that we're basically dealing with these levels, static levels, 1-year levels, all right, that everyone's going to see. Any close underneath there, I think that would scare everyone out. From our perspective, 886 on Ethereum. It's more like 600 actually. So it's either 1800 or 600. And that in between is pretty difficult to accept. So let's give it another few more days, maybe by the end of the week. Clearly, the monthly chart on Ethereum, which I think is important to recognize, that it was an ugly down candle. We are 2 days into June. What are we going to do? The whole thing, it really now comes down to the prior month's range. Look at it like this. We're down here. Okay, we know that there's a hop level at 1804 on the daily. But let's just break down the last month's range. Okay, our close, the 31st there, 1936, already starting to be difficult to overcome. Ethereum, if it's going to do anything, it has to demonstratively break out, reverse, pivot, break above 2000, and get some legs. There is a possibility, if that could happen here, where you're talking an immediate move back to 25 or 2700, but you don't have it yet. You don't have the confirmation variables. You are definitely on the make or break edge. These are the last relevant static levels. You go back to there and draw it across. It's a real clear picture, folks, and harmonically, the metrics we would apply on this chart below 1700 are steep. So it is absolutely a critical market for all of crypto. I think there are a few that are showing signs. I mean, Bitcoin vacillating in its range on the daily chart has been interesting, to say the least. Let's go to Coinbase feed. And all of this is related. This is a really frustrating type 1 reaction, is probably the best way to describe it. But it has everything we want to see. So far, still managing to hold this check back. And that's 28.5. So I've been saying that a type 1 reaction would get us to 34,100, and then we'd have to deal with a retest. Despite yesterday, which was, I think, took a lot of air out of the hopium that was there after the weekend, it's not done yet. This is the key bar you want to look for on Ethereum, for Bitcoin, sorry, which basically says 29,000, 29,200 cannot be exceeded. You don't want to give back the work that it did over the weekend. Essentially, the larger retest will occur on a close, daily close under 29,000 for Bitcoin, where this is going to be just a dud. So we can tighten stops. And if you're even trading this, I'm not trading crypto at the moment. I have a few positions, but actively trading, no. I haven't bought Ethereum or Bitcoin in a while. And I'm still looking. I would love to see a 1-2. Maybe we do get this reaction, but I'm not going to participate because it's lackluster, and the risk, I think, for downside, for more downside, is still there. The other point that I want to see is, what does the amplified RSI indicator do now? From this point forward, do we get continuation because we finally were able to break above that 50 line last week with that thrust move there? That's significant, and we will get accelerations up to the other overbought extreme, which can at least take us to target 1. Again, this is an ugly type 1 reversal. And it's something where it's probably worth it to wait it out and wait for wherever that confirmation is going to come down on the retest. I mean, that would be, notice how we actually just did trigger, we hit an HSI. Oh, I don't have my arrows up on there, but we did hit HSI 2 days ago and came out of the zone. A lot of things are clicking right now that are real make-break scenarios. And I think a lot of it is about risk. How much are you willing to risk? Can you risk? This is a great deep retracement area that I think 6 months ago or a year ago, people would say, yeah, deep crab or crab pattern, 1618 with confirmation. I would buy that at any price. Now, not so much. Now, because of a lot of the overhang and lackluster action, we very well could be one of these situations where we're 30 bars to do even a consolidation reaction, and then a 60 bar move where, let's say this does unfold in a 30 bar range and then comes back and does another retest. Think of it this way, the 60 bar count to get you even higher is still not till July. So that's, got to be careful on that one. Big shout out. Thank you. Thanks, Dalton. James, how you doing? Harmoniholic, I love that. Thank you. Snipes, nice hash. What's up? James, you're still trading Luna? God, I gave that up last week. It just was ugly. And I'll tell you the other thing, I mentioned another guy. I won't even say his name because now I know a little bit more about the guy. They should call his crypto showboat. So I'm kind of digging deeper on some of these cryptos. I will say this: I have a position in Chili's. It's a nice size one. I still am looking for a type 1 reaction, but for me, I think I got to know a little bit more. Since these are all down at huge, deep retracement levels, are these guys scammers? Is the project another Luna with that guy who probably should be in jail, quite frankly? And how the fact that he even got another coin off and launched it's pretty scary. But he did it. And he did it. And so even if these things last or they don't last, that's on them. I just want to trade the vehicles. But I want to know if there's really, intelligent people behind the technology or not. I think I can look at the profiles. Maybe that's something I'll start asking you folks, especially those that are more proficient in the crypto technology in the crypto world. I come at this exclusively from a trading perspective, and I want to be clear on that. Everything I do lines up with patterns and movements, but the consideration here is a lot of these can go to your hop levels, and that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Does Bitcoin roll over and go to its hop at 20,000? Does Chili's come down and go to its hop at 5 cents, or do we get confirmation and we go and get up to 17 cents and give Scott a nice 50% move within 30 bars? So that's the decision here, and I'm trying to stick to the binary yes, no, bullish, bearish framework. If I have all of my conditions met and I'm bullish with a bullish pattern with the which we have on Chili's, and I've talked about this for a while, then the only thing holding me back on staying this position is not quantifying risk and the whole consideration or possibility that this hop will eventually be tested has to be still valid. I mean, it's still within my decision framework of possibilities, but does it do it from here and down, or do we get to target one and then go down? We could do both. The action into these zones was absolutely catastrophic, so that is one consideration of why it's taking so long, even to do a reaction. Here's the one I was mentioning that did go to the hop level, and I think this will probably be the last time I ever cover this thing. The guy's a turkey. It's surprising. People could do so much, and they just want to flash, and that's all right. That's on him, you know. But this hex thing, look, we nailed that at the 20 cent. I never took a position in hex. I don't care either way. But from a harmonic pattern perspective, look, we were looking for this thing to come to 16 to 13, and it crashed. Where we mentioned the possibility of 4.9 cents last week, that hit, and that demonstrates the kind of thing with these smaller S coins that I want everyone to be aware of. That maybe what we should be thinking is, from a structural perspective, look for these that are hitting hop levels, then give you confirmation. Maybe Hex will give us confirmation. Maybe did it? Did it pop out yet? Hold on. Yeah, it popped out, so it did give us confirmation. I got to put my arrows on there. I don't have my arrows. But I still wouldn't take that based on the things I've learned about this organization. Good luck to the Hex people. But I don't want to be involved. I would rather look at stuff like, all right, if you're fishing for things that maybe have something, this KNC, it's a full 886 retest. That's what we've been saying all along. Down around 150, we caught a bounce, rolled over with HSI. Now we're back here with another HSI signal around 183. They signed some deal recently with Activision or somebody. I don't know. At least, hey, they're partnering with a credible company. These other ones that have like very little major partnerships or anything, I see that as a problem. Here's LRC. It's another one where we're deep in the zone, super ugly consolidation, but beautiful bat pattern. What I want to see on this is a combination of amplified and HSI, which we haven't gotten on either one yet. Maybe back in here you did, but that was before terminal bar. Keep an eye on that one. I think a lot of these are going to take more time. They're going to drag. Like LRC, what it will likely do is obviously not go to the hop at negative 13 cents, but just grind sideways until it can get another oversold signal, and then it'll pop. Whole bunch of those. Here's just a quick Metaverse. All right, here's that Decentraland. Went to 5, all the way back to $1 now. Look at the weekly. Again, another 886 candidate. This is so oversold, though. You have it on a weekly basis, and that's Gemini feed. I should get a better feed. No offense, Winklevi. But even with this, are we at the 886? Are we close? What's the trend line doing? Yeah, this one did hit it 886 exactly, I think. It was almost spot on at 55 or 50 whatever 2 cents. Yeah, something like that. Nice, James. James is talking about Luna, his Luna trades. I was trading that. I was trading that like 2 weeks ago when it went crazy after the crash. I just think, again, another situation where what I see of that guy, I don't like. And I don't know how, in any other market, that guy would be, like I said, he'd be already out. He'd be in jail. Maybe he'd be out on bail already, too. But, I just really am surprised that they actually got that to relaunch. And um, yeah, there you go. Because forget this, that was a whole new one. That's the one thing I don't like about crypto, and it's where regulation sometimes can help, not hurt. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I haven't looked at this thoroughly, James, and really until recently. Yeah, that's moving. Oh, there's some nice patterns there. But on principle, I don't think I'm going to touch things that are obvious issue companies with leaders that have problems. That's a nice one. Look how harmonic that thing is, though. And you got a bearish crab coming up right now, but that's a 5 minute chart. That's what it says he's been trading. Even yeah, look at that. That's a nice one. I would just favor crab patterns on those as well, just to let you know, because of the 1618, such a great number when you have the crab pattern. Even though, say, this bat worked out for a type 1 and type 2, from there, type 1, but look, you're trading for half a penny. Sorry, like half a buck, 40 cents, 50 cents, something like that. Most people, when they get into crypto, they're looking for dollars. So it has to be trading, has to be short-term trading. Let's talk more about that on Monday. I think we have to get not only Bitcoin, and you got to save Ethereum, and look at this weekend on total crypto market cap. Go down here on the 4 hour or hourly. We just registered another bullish HSI, which is okay, good. You got something there that, at least on this latest dump, you were able to stabilize after hitting the oversold without doing too much damage. Total crypto market cap, I don't think is going to do much. And probably the best way to look at this is to say, what are the short-term ranges, 4 hour time frame? We know the daily needs to basically break out. You cannot violate this range on the downside without doing extreme damage to the total crypto market cap. So maybe we just come back right up to 1.3, 1.32, and then we'll see. James is saying that the Luna trading volume is very high. It probably is. It probably is. It's something where I'll have to look at that further. I just got turned off by the thing. I really did, by what I saw with the guy, and the same with the Hex guy. I mean, nothing against them personally. I mean, just not my style. And I don't want somebody. I don't. I'm not going to put my money somewhere where you have a guy like that, where um, you know, just not making a whole lot of sense. It's a real, just creates more problems than answers. Really quick, let's jump to Nasdaq and go to the other markets, which are coming off of major zones. We're not out of the woods. That's Apple. I'll come to that in a second. But Nasdaq, then NQ at the hop is everything. The hop 11,848 for Nasdaq is huge. We're trying to get out of this hole. So far, so good. I like what I see today. It didn't look good on the open. And that could be the real first, I think, the first victory for the longs in a while, of absolutely having a pretty scary rollover in the morning and then being able to come back. So for me, you're in a great position for NQ and markets to rally in a type 1 move. But much like we saw in Bitcoin and Ethereum, we have to tighten the stops because there's no rollover permitted now. You're here, you're breaking out of this, trying to break out of that 3-day range, which is like a little bit higher, like that. So you're squeezed, you get above 12.9, this thing's gone. And I would, again, look to tighten stops under today's lows or this 3-day low that has now developed. where we should not see that thing come back under 12,450. A lot going on that is promising. It's just delayed action where the hop comes in, harmonic optimal price. That's our last ditch level to save the day. But no confirmation on this. So I'm still in the reaction camp. I really am. I'm just thinking reaction. I don't want to get ahead of anything. There are a number of markets that are deeply oversold that maybe this is the start of something bigger. At least hate to use the word summer rally, summer bounce. It's kind of what I was alluding to in our last session, but I think that we're 2 bars away, a 2-3 bar breakout away with a close, strong close above 12.9 gets you there. Maybe tomorrow could be it. And you think about it. We're 12.760. A strong day today. Strong day tomorrow gets you to where it gets you above 13. Let's see. How much are we up today? Up 206. So keep in mind that even after this big surge move that we got on, what was that last week, last Friday, we're holding the lows. We're holding critical support. We've kind of done a 2-3 day pause here. And then let's see what happens then tomorrow. Because if we get one more candle up, it's on. And I think it's already on. I've been mentioning that last week since we got this 3 bar breakout down at the hop, like right there. And now we've got continuation. That's exactly what you want to see, folks. The other thing about NQ, Nasdaq futures, in comparison to the QQQ, it's a great chart. So here's the Q, triple Qs, same number of patterns. You actually had several patterns. And oh, I forgot to get, let me get HSI arrows and the other stuff. There you go. And where's the arrows? Great. So here's another case where looking at other side markets, comparing index versus ETF versus futures, if you can give you greater insight into the overall underlying market. So Nasdaq 100, this one did have confirmation that came in, checked back over a week ago. It's kind of been quiet, but this is important. This check back, that's your final point right there. Ended up taking you as low as 282. The exact check back line number was around 286. Here's the deal. Now we're coming out of the zone, and it's still early within this larger zone that you're breaking above the 50 level with amplified on the daily. Really important. That's a heck of a lot better position here than, say, trying to attack it down here coming out of the zone. We didn't have any confirmation back in here, so that's one reason why you wouldn't really be there yet. But over here, you get the confirmation, you have good progress out of the zone, and then you break above the 50. So that should get you going, more fuel for the fire, okay, to get you up to target 1, 350. Trading 311. That's a nice move. Talking 10, 12%. You'd still be down almost 10%, 12% for the year. We're starting to cut into that. We were down 30, which is something else to consider where you're at hop levels. You're down 30% on a major correction. I mean, major. 30% NASDAQ correction. I got to think no matter what, even if it's more time, we're a lot closer to the lows, especially since the only thing underneath these lows is a catastrophe scenario. That's the only thing. So I definitely want to stick with this QQQ chart because there's a lot of room to run. We can break this down, favor your 5-minute patterns, favor your 1 minute bullish patterns and look for that stuff to develop intraday. What do we have here? We have a deep crab. Yeah, we had a real ugly butterfly down here at the low, type 1, type 2. Beyond that, not much yet, but I'll look at this later today. 312.15 is that little short-term 1618 from yesterday. That's probably where you're going, but again, I think let's look at what it does around 312, 313, because if you break and you keep running, that's where your continuation would happen. Personally, I'd love to see this crab come back down and then blow it out, but I think the position where we are currently, it's really close to pushing it open. That's a good kind of 1-2 comparison. Really quick, let's look at the diamonds. Let's look at the Dow. That hasn't, those haven't gotten hit nearly as badly as Nasdaq and tech stocks. On the daily, on the diamonds here, we do have an HSI that just materialized. Take a look. We're right here yesterday. But no confirmation on amplified. So it's kind of a standalone signal. We want both for those best continuations. It's like this. There, and that one kissed it, but real nice. There's another one. This one kissed it real nice, and then even that really clear one there, and then to there. Oh, come on back here. So I'm maybe a pause. Again, this would be kind of a singular indicator reading, and I would still look for a check back. Again, that's at 332. So still a little bit higher. Let's see what this does tomorrow, because tomorrow, let's say we get a big fat candle up, then there's nowhere to go but to hit these immediate targets, retracement targets, or even think of it this way. Let's cut in half 50% regain or recoup of the current year's losses. Dow and S&P roughly 20 something percent. Then they go down, they're only 10% down. Nasdaq, all right, goes down 15% for the year. We'll see. There's a lot of narrative at the moment. Why is that not working? Oh, I know why. A lot of scary narrative, I think. Inflation, some of the things that some of the big heads are talking about, but I don't, we got to kind of sort through it. Here's the YM futures. Did just generate an HSI last week because we got deeply oversold on that May decline. Really, those 7 weeks down, 8 weeks down, even though it probably should have been more in terms of price because you had so many weeks down. Tells me that cut into the trend, not as bad as I think people are really squawking about. A check back even on the Dow at 31.3 wouldn't surprise me, and we'd still be within this bounce scenario. Let's go to the 4-hour page. YM futures. Yeah, that was a shark down there. Yeah, we had a couple patterns at 31.8, 32, and it was pretty ugly down there. Looked like it was going to completely wash out under 30,000. But we could still be in a return move where, 34,100 or 35,000, something like that for the summer. Do an ugly, sloppy, reactive move. That's probably where we are currently, and then come back down. And that would be, I keep finding myself drawing these type 2 return moves, or at least anticipating that, where it's targeting something probably July or August. We get down here. Definitely, let's see what happens though next few weeks. We could get this up reaction to go, and then we'll look for what happens up that 35,000 level. I mentioned a few Dow stocks, and there was one I wanted to bring up. Well, certainly JP Morgan. This is at a 4-hour pattern, deep crab. Now, this is the kind of thing I'm really emphasizing, that we have a strong type 1 move. This one off this deep crab on the 4-hour already hit its target 2 and backing off. If that was to continue and break out, that would be something different. But this one could be in a return and your type 2 hop move at 109. Not crazy to think that if we don't follow through and bust out. Here's another one, extremely depressed, Disney, 109. But look at this 4-hour chart, folks. I don't have confirmation on this. Yeah, because HSI screwed up. Let me see if I can fix that really quick. Or we get it on a 120. The numbers are clear, $100. Is Disney going to hold $100? And is that an opportunity versus, okay, we have it. It's the same thing on a 2-hour chart. I don't know why the 4-hour is not generating the HSI, but we have a bat pattern, bearish bat pattern. That suggests to me more time. But let's see what this does on the next move down, because we're scraping a lot of hop levels. Amplified wanting to come back down now. HSI already out. Again, that's why tomorrow's close is going to be so important. Disney, as sloppy as this is, only has 2 levels from here to consider, that we form some kind of bat and we stall, keep stalling, or we blow through and go to target 1 on those longer term levels. Your daily, weekly, it shows it. Shows how severe and it's still a trade, by the way. This is not something where I'm digging in just yet. All right, we do have it on the daily. That's actually even better. I thought we did. There's confirmation, hits the hop level, stabilizes. I would like to see another confirmation come in. Or I would really, for a larger signal for Disney, I would like to see that come in. But I'm going to line it up. I'm going to keep my eyes on it, where we're looking for target 1 at 128 at a minimum. At a minimum. If you want to wait for confirmation, and maybe what it does is then comes back down and gives you confirmation over there to go, that would be a more likely scenario. Need to see this stuff do something now, because it spent the last 10 sessions, 12 sessions in these zones, scraping hop levels, things that are not super reactive. Yeah, I can check those energy plays, Claire. Claire's asking for energy plays. Let me give you 1 or 2 more here. Here's Travelers. Weekly. Hasn't done much. It's a strong chart with a trying to fail this butterfly. And this is the thing here on the reverse side, folks. This is a good point to look at, where, all right, this butterfly, beautiful formation, you're looking at 158, 160 level, but what's the common feature in this failure? It's time. It's a harmonic pause. You go sideways for more than 30 bars, and then you start to flirt with the hop. At that point, your only saving grace is some kind of confirmation signal, which you got here, and it just ignored. I mean, look, you form the signal, you check back with green candle, green candle, green candle, and you're well above the hop anyway. I think that one's interesting. Let's jump over to Dow Energy, like ExxonMobil. All right, up here on the weekly, we know, I talked about this last time. I'm not going to spend that much time on it. We're just looking for how far is this acceleration going to go. This is a ExxonMobil and the whole energy complex. Check it out. Basically, $100 is the deep crab on the daily. You're trading 97. What do we know about the deep crab? Well, it likes to overshoot the 1618. So theoretically, we could be looking at 106, 108 level. where this goes to almost a 2.0. And so energy will continue. And look, HSI is trying to roll over. Amplified trying to roll over. Not there yet. Individual price action still holding day over day. Let's see what happens. Because if we get something where I guess they got that OPEC meeting coming out. All right, let's see what happens. We haven't completed the pattern. I also think it's important to note that we're on a 1618 extension from March to April. Not only the deep crab showing up, but you're going to run into some resistance at 100 or maybe 105 area. I want to see what happens though. By tomorrow on these, will HSI trigger? Will amplified give you a double test and then this thing go into a pause? Let's see. Let's see. Couple more. Yo, you want to look at that REI. REI, what's this? Ring Energy? Have no idea what that is. This would fall into that category of, super speculative moves. A nice ABCD on the top. I think there's much better candidates, although that probably, that's probably one to watch to get some moves. REI is looking like it's, oh, there you go. On the weekly, at the hop level, it's 68 cents. That's a nice one. But you're trying to develop this bat pattern at 589. And again, let's see what it does, how strong even these smaller plays develop. The ones that I'm looking at, folks, energy sector, are things like ConocoPhillips. All right, and it's up huge. But if we're going to trend and we're going to continue to move higher, well, you need to assume that these are on a rope. Your long-term projections where a lot of these are at all-time highs, broken out, massive price discovery. I mean, you have to throw up 1618 basically. 1618 to 314 would generally be the range. I would just say, look, show me the 1618 to 2.0. Let's look at it like this. The 2.0 extension is, that's way out of the screen. Let me go to the 1618 as well, because that'll create our zone. 1618 is 130 on ConocoPhillips. And that's probably the most reliable metric. Go to the monthly. Probably better even to look at the monthly because these things have run so high. Remarkable charts. Look at that monthly. Butterfly right on the dime with an nice ABCD that set it off. But again, these are failed patterns now. Like that hop level at 94 failing like that is a sign. I mean, it's a sign like it was way back here at $13. Again, going back to the early 90s, I mean, Conoco has had some big moves, but overall, it's a champ. It's one of the refining kings that are not going to go away. But this is what to take. The takeaway of looking at these patterns that generate 30, 60 bars or even more, and then they fail, is probably the most common trait for all flawed harmonic patterns. So if you're like here, let's say you're 40, 50, 60 bars, and you get a whole lot of action at the hop, terminal bar, no confirmation, and then you break out yet again above the obvious consolidation zones, I mean, as defined by the pattern, that's when you know this thing has failed and it has a lot further to go. Again, terminal bar way back here on the monthly, and then this is what? Years. Your breakout came 6, 7 years after the fact, sitting up in that range. We did get type 1. Check this out. I think this is just from a framework perspective to prove that if we're in a type 1 scenario, that the type 2 return is almost inevitable. There you go. There's your type 1 down to target 1. And we still need to do this kind of a move, that return move. And what happened? It failed. Valero was the other one. And if you don't have these on your screens, you should. Breaking out to all-time new highs, 135. Remarkable. Weekly. Yeah, this is a serial week over week breakout. Massive bullish engulfing last few weeks, the couple weeks ago. Pause, continue higher. That's for these. The best thing to do is Valero, Conoco. Pull up your 5-minute. Talked about a few other ones. There's the 5-minute chart. Yeah, let's peg some bullish patterns. You had one, back in May? What, you had a crab pattern that set this off at 120. So, and we're back up here retesting 133, 134 in a sloppy way, but this is probably almost up there. You had another crab, little 5-minute. How to play it? Wait for your next bullish crab on a 5-minute. That's all. With these kind of trending situations, when you're playing off of a bullish pattern within an aggressive bullish trend, especially knowing that you have a bullish pattern intraday forming, and this is basically all-time new high territory up here, tells you it's not going to stop. It's going to continue. Don't take your eyes off of it. One or two more, and then I'm going to have to roll today. Do I have an update crib sheet for all patterns? I think we do. I think it's in the basic members section, but Miss Stephanie, write that down, please. And I'll look. We need a cheat sheet for the pattern, all the patterns on the basic members page. Yeah, I noticed that Darren. Darren is the one that brought up Chewy's last week, and that popped, and that's great. Real nice one. What was that pattern down there, though? Wasn't it a weekly, Darren, on Chewy? Yeah. Oh, God, look at their bat. There you are. So we flashed this up courtesy of our friend, Mr. Shah. And it is one of those beautiful bat patterns, huge patterns, where we get confirmation coming out of the zone right now. Sorry, I don't know why. HSI, why are you letting me down today? Let me fix this really quick. See if I can get that. I'm going to have to check this out. Something's not right on this. I'll come back to this, but let me see what kind of confirmation do we have on Chewy's. Because again, it's another one of these concept stocks. Yeah, on the 2-day, and that's probably even better. You do have confirmation that just happened on the 2-day chart. That's around 25.39. Today it's up strong, but your 886 is 32. And if we just scrape out what we should structurally be looking for is a type 1 move. Let's keep an eye on that one. Definitely. I one or two more. I did want to get into gold really quick. Gold has made some progress off of the daily bat pattern that we mentioned. Oh, I don't know. It was a little while ago. Let's go to daily. Back to back across the board. Really been great. There you go. And this one's full on type 1. So what does that tell you? Way to read this is that risk is coming. We're getting up to the target 1 reaction. And so that inflation trade and that combination of kind of the, not really even defensive. I mean, gold got its clock cleaned in the Nasdaq drop from March, April especially. Well, maybe we'll see if we get a type 1 completion. We're really close to just closing the gap. But again, like Bitcoin, like a lot of these, the confirmation came in above the pattern completion. Typically, I'd like to see it down there. but still good and still set you off on your type 1 reaction where, yeah, call it 1900. The interesting thing is that when you look at the mining stocks, um, Barrick and or GLD was probably better. Hold on. Oh, that's the wrong symbol. Gold. Let me go GLD. GLD and some of the bigger miners are showing similar things. You're at this, got this bat structure retest. GLD, what happened to that one? Oh, maybe 4 hour. And then some of the miners were dead on. Some of the mining patterns recently have absolutely played out well. I must be thinking of gold, the Barrick situation. GLD is not giving me the patterns I want. I'm going to spin on another instrument. Here's Barrick. Thank you. Which is the biggest? Okay, this one's a little more difficult because it relates to the crab pattern right there, basically $20, 20, 25. That's helping you put a floor under this stock. And you're just coming off of it now. So let's be mindful of this. I might be updating with a gold play in our 3 ideas video this week. Really quick, I did put out a video on a few ideas. Here's the other one, another one that I put out that was triggered yesterday. Everyone should keep an eye on. This is CSX on the daily. It's a deep crab type 2 going up to 36, but that was triggered 2 days ago. So that's around 31.65. Looking a lot better now. That was one of our 3 ideas, and that's one of the new premium content for gold members, silver members on harmonictrader.com. So there'll be more videos posted this weekend and next week as we restart the premium content for gold and silver. So check that out. But everyone should start with basic membership and go through everything that we have there. Take advantage of the software trials, please. And again, there's no reason why every person that is here today and every person that is listening, learning from these sessions and gets it, you get it with harmonics. You know why this stuff works. You see it working. You've exposed yourself to enough cases where you cannot deny the framework. You have to get the TradingView program and take the 14-day free trial. Send your TradingView username and we'll set you up. And if you want another 2 weeks, please take the first 2 weeks. If you want 2 more, just ask support after that and we can set you up. So I'll update more on that on Monday. I've got a couple of announcements on Monday regarding the software, and I'll be 100% come Monday. So definitely reach out. Appreciate everyone showing up today. And again, we'll be back 100% on Monday at I'll open up around 11:55. We'll go an hour. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Go get them. Let's watch for this Nasdaq move. Watch for it. That's, kind of to finish up with where we are. I think everyone and everything is going to have to focus on what Nasdaq does. And we're now pushing 12.8 as we finish the session. Yeah, I like this. I do. I like it here, and we can run for well above 13 by tomorrow. I mean, look, you're deep crab on a 5-minute right now with a hop at 879. It's still 100 higher. Keep an eye on all of this. This is big stuff that's in development. So every day you have a stronger close, stronger continuation. That sets us up for a nice rebound. That's where I think we are. Till Monday, go get them. I'll see you guys.